It was one of the most expensive sailing yachts ever built. Sleek, shimmering, and engineered to slice through the sea like a blade. A billionaire's jewel, a floating masterpiece, a vessel so luxurious that even other yacht owners stared at it with envy. But on a calm Mediterranean night, with no passengers and no crew aboard, this $40 million marvel somehow broke free, drifted silently into the blackness, and disappeared. By sunrise, it had become something else entirely, a ghost ship. Not sunk by a storm, not destroyed by pirates, not sabotaged by enemies. No, this ship died alone, without witnesses, like it chose its own fate. And the world was left asking one chilling question. How does a yacht worth more than a city block simply vanish? Because this is not just the story of a shipwreck. This is the story of a billionaire's pride, a mysterious night at sea, a catastrophic chain of failures, and a ghost yacht that refused to go down quietly. This is the disaster of My Song. The yacht was called My Song, a 39-meter Baltic yacht super sloop commissioned by billionaire fashion tycoon Pierluigi Loro Piana. Not just rich, old money rich. The kind of wealth where a yacht isn't a luxury, it's an accessory. My Song wasn't built to impress. It was built to dominate, crafted from carbon fiber, engineered for racing, winner of prestigious regattas, the kind of vessel that made headlines just by anchoring in Monaco. In May of 2019, My Song was being shipped back from the Caribbean after competing in races, lashed onto a massive transport vessel named M.V. Brattingsborg, a floating parking lot for superyachts. These ships carry the ocean's toys for the people who don't touch the wheel of their own boats. The Mediterranean was calm, visibility clear. It should have been a simple, uneventful voyage. But sometime during the night of May 26th, in the Tyrrhenian Sea, something went terribly wrong. Something that turned a billionaire's masterpiece into a drifting corpse. The cradle, the massive steel structure meant to hold My Song in place, failed. Whether it snapped, shifted, or was incorrectly secured, we still don't truly know. But suddenly, the yacht was no longer attached to the transport ship. It slipped off like a ghost into the dark water. No one saw it fall. No alarms were triggered. No crew member noticed until it was too late. The next morning, an empty stretch of ocean reflected the rising sun and the twisted shape of a once-perfect superyacht. Lying half-submerged in silence, salvage teams arrived. Cameras flashed. The world gasped. My Song was destroyed, mangled, capsized, drenched in irony. It had survived storms, races, and the unforgiving winds of international sailing. Only to die while doing nothing at all. Loro Piana was devastated. Lawsuits erupted. Accusations flew. And the mystery deepened. Was it human error, negligence, or something more hidden beneath the surface? To this day, the ghost yacht of the Mediterranean remains a chilling reminder. Even the richest man in the world can't stop the sea from claiming what it wants. It was nearly midnight when the ocean changed character. Not into a storm. Storms announced themselves with thunder, with rolling clouds, with the unmistakable smell of electricity. But this was different. The water stirred, uneasy, as if shifting in its sleep. The moon, half hidden behind streaks of thin cloud, cast a pale sheen across the deck of M.V. Brattingsborg, illuminating row after row of rich men's toys strapped to its steel spine. Among them, resting like royalty, was My Song, the pride of billionaire Pierluigi Loro Piana, a vessel that looked less like a yacht and more like a promise carved into carbon. But that night, something felt off. Not to the crew. They were inside, the hum of the engines masking the faint metallic groans echoing from the upper deck, but the ocean felt it, and My Song, if a ship could feel anything, felt it too. Hours earlier, technicians had secured the yacht into its transport cradle. Bolts tightened, straps ratcheted, measurements checked. Everything, in theory, perfect. But the Tyrrhenian Sea has no respect for theory. A slight shift in weight, a subtle tilt, a strain no one noticed, something microscopically wrong that would soon become catastrophically obvious. At 1:45 a.m., a sound cut through the quiet, a metallic crack, Sharp, unnatural, and final. The kind of sound that says something important just gave up. No one heard it. Not the crew, not the officers, not anyone who could have prevented the impossible. The cradle failed, and my song, for the first time in its life, discovered what freefall felt like. The yacht slid, slow at first as gravity toyed with the idea, then faster. The straps tore, the steel scraped, and $40 million of Italian engineering plunged off the side of the transport ship like a stone dropped from a cliff. The ocean swallowed it in seconds. But the story didn't end there. When the sun rose, the sea revealed the damage. A silhouette floated near the waves, twisted like a broken sculpture. My song, once a champion racer, now drifted upside down like a dead animal in a glass tank. The mast was cracked. The hull was fractured. Equipment dangled from the sides like seaweed. The sleek perfection that had once dominated regattas was now a shattered monument to human failure. When news reached Loro Piana, witnesses said he went silent. Not angry, not panicked, just silent. The kind of silence that comes when reality hits harder than grief. My song wasn't just a yacht, it was memory family, legacy, something irreplaceable, even for a billionaire. The maritime world erupted. How could this happen? How does a yacht secured by professionals simply fall off a cargo ship? Theories poured in like waves hitting a breakwater. Theory 1. The cradle wasn't designed properly. Experts pointed fingers at the cradle's engineering. Was it custom made? Was it tested? Did someone cut corners? Theory 2. The crew misjudged the weather. Official reports mentioned heavy weather, but sailors familiar with that night said the sea was nowhere near dangerous enough to cause such destruction. Theory 3. The yacht itself shifted because of improper securing. If straps weren't tightened correctly, or if the load wasn't balanced, the slightest tilt could start a deadly chain reaction. Theory 4. Sabotage. Some whispered this privately. Loro Piana had competitors, enemies, people in the racing world who envied my song's victories. A loose bolt, a weakened strap, a simple mistake with devastating consequences. No evidence ever supported sabotage, but mysteries grow fastest when clarity is missing. The salvage crews found the yacht days later battered beyond recognition. They flipped it upright, hauled it toward shore, and the world stared as photos made headlines. The billionaire's ghost yacht became a symbol of fragility in the world of excess, proof that wealth can buy beauty, speed, innovation, but it cannot buy control. Engineers examined the remains. They shook their heads. The hull was open in places it should have been bulletproof. The deck was warped, the interior destroyed. The verdict was unanimous, total loss. But the chaos didn't end in the water. On land, in offices with polished floors and air-conditioned tension, the lawsuits began. Loro Piana blamed the transport company. The transport company blamed the cradle. The cradle manufacturer blamed the weather. And the weather blamed no one. Millions of dollars in claims, accusations of negligence, heated debates over responsibility. Everyone wanted to be right. No one wanted to buy. The public watched with morbid fascination. It was the kind of drama usually reserved for crime scenes, not yachts. And yet, something about my song's downfall felt almost supernatural, not in a ghostly sense, but in the sense that some disasters feel inevitable. A yacht named My Song. A billionaire who saw it as part of his identity. A cradle meant to protect it. A sea calm enough to lull everyone into complacency, and then something snaps. A moment too small for cameras, too quiet for alarms, but powerful enough to destroy everything. A ghost yacht born from silence. In the weeks that followed, sailors whispered about my song. Some said the yacht's fall sounded like a scream when metal tore. Some claimed the ocean dragged it faster than gravity should allow. Some said it drifted too far, too neatly, too strangely for something that fell accidentally. But myths are born quickly when rich objects die mysteriously. By the time salvage workers loaded the remains onto trucks, the world had already moved on. Another billionaire would build another ship. The sea would stay hungry, and the story would fade, except for one image burned into memory. a $40 million masterpiece lying half submerged, water rocking it gently like a cradle that failed it once already. And that image still raises the same question today. Did the yacht fall? Or was it let go? Some mysteries don't need ghosts. Sometimes the ghost is simply the truth we never uncover. And my song's truth remains drifting, somewhere between pride, negligence, and the unrelenting power of the sea. Because for all its calm beauty, the Mediterranean does not care who you are. It does not care what you own. And that night, without warning, it reached up and took a billionaire's toy and left behind a legend. And perhaps that is what unsettles people the most. Not the fall of a $40 million masterpiece, not the lawsuits or accusations, but the eerie simplicity of it all. A cradle fails, a yacht slides, a masterpiece disappears into the dark. No dramatic storm, no heroic rescue, no final radio call echoing through the static. Just silence. And a colossal symbol of human achievement vanishing like it never mattered. In the end, my song became more than a wreck. It became a quiet warning carved into salt water that no matter how perfect something seems, one unnoticed weakness can rewrite its destiny. The sea didn't just claim a yacht, it exposed a truth everyone tries to forget. Wealth may build wonders, but the ocean decides their fate.